and welcome to the December Newscast.
And happy holidays.
We are still your hosts. I'm Colin Hunziker.
And I'm Clint Chamley.
And we just want to wish everyone watching this a Merry Christmas in advance. And Clint, it is that time. What is the joke of the day today?
I learned a new word in Spanish.
What's the word, man?
Mucho.
Mucho? What's it mean?
Means a lot to me.
Oh. Well, I'm glad. It means a lot to me, too. If you guys don't get the joke, it's a lot in Spanish. The word mucho is. With that being said, we are going to have Isaac come up here and talk about Chief Stomp'em.
Thank you, Colin and Clint, for that intro. I'm Isaac, and I'll be talking about the legend of Chief Stomp'em. So I have my top secret scroll right here. Since the late 1970s, Chief Stomp'em has been a valuable part of Clark County's basketball program. Legendary coach Johnny Wood came up with the idea after watching the Blue Devil performance at Quincy High School for Jerry Leggett's team. Our Indian mascot is a source of great pride for both students and community, and therefore is a great honor for students to be chosen for this unique opportunity that represents our school. This year is the first year that freshmen through seniors will be allowed to participate in Chief Stomp'em. And next up, I'll be interviewing Drew Holstead and Caden Barlow. I'm here with sophomore Chief Stomp'em, Drew Holstead, and we're going to get right on into the interview. So what makes Chief Stomp'em so special?
The atmosphere in Clark County, it's fantastic, coming out of that tunnel right there. It's just great. I'm always excited to run around this gym, pump these guys up, ready for the game.
Yeah. What do you do to get ready to go out in front of the crowd?
When we're in there painting, I always think about what I'm going to do, coming around, and I don't know, it's just like, you kind of wing it. You guys got to get these guys hyped up. You got to do your own way.
Yeah.
So.
And what does it feel like to go out on the court?
Fantastic, I don't play basketball, but I always love being out here with these guys. It's just a great community. I love it out here. And getting these guys pumped up, that's my job. I love it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
So I'm here with senior Chief Stomp'em, Caden Barlow, and we're going to get right in on the interview. So what makes Chief Stomp'em so special?
Well, Chief Stomp'em is a well-respected and honored student, I believe. It's really an exciting event.
And what do you do to get ready to go out on the court?
Oh man, it all starts with painting, getting all ready, pumped up, psyched. You gotta make sure the crowd knows you're there.
And finally, what does it feel like to be on the court?
It feels great. Your blood, veins popping. It's nice.
All right, thanks for coming.
Yep, thank you.
Moving on from dancing on the court to sitting in the stands, Ian's going to come in and talk about the Clark County student section.
Thank you, Isaac, for talking about this year's Chief Stomp'em. Moving on, I'm Ian Ackley. I'm going to be talking about this year's varsity basketball student section. We got a couple themes going on. The very first night we did camo night. We've done blue night. We're eventually going to do frat, whiteout, just a couple other themes. Some traditions we do. We turn around whenever the opponents are shooting their free throws. How to find out what our themes are going to be is several people throughout the school district post them on their Snapchat stories, Instagram stories, etc. CCHS Newsroom posts them on their Instagram story. Just come out, show up, have a good time with us. Now moving on. And this right here is where all the magic happens. Just imagine these stands filled with students just cheering on the home basketball team, having a really great time. I mean, this right here is a picture from one of our very first home games where it was camo night. Great night. Came out here and supported the game. I mean, you just got to come out and have a good time with us.
The average high for December is 40 and the low is 24. It looks like you're not going to get the white Christmas everybody wants, as well as there's very low chance of snow. Snow begins at 32 degrees, but when it's in the sky, it doesn't always come down to the ground. It melts before it gets to the ground. That is why you may see some snow. It just melts on the ground. That is going to be for this portion of weather.
Hi, I'm Jacob Euler, and here's a highlight reel I put together of the Clark County Esports fall season.
Hi, I'm Heaton Sturm, and I'm going to talk about how to graduate early. First off, you need to talk to your guidance counselor about early graduation. If you do not see them on a regular basis, request an appointment with one of them, either Mrs. Alderton or Mrs. Johnson, and explain to them as of why you're wanting to graduate early. Either you're going into college right after graduation, or you want to go into the work field and get an early start in life. If you get all your credits, sign up for an early graduation. They set out a paper in the office on the first day of December. They will ask for your name, reason for wanting to graduate early, and if you say work, you have to say where you're working and the business's phone number. There will also be an early graduation application you need to fill out located in the office. On the early graduation slip, you will be requested to follow the following. Have the counselor go over your transcript and make sure you have all your credits. If you're going to attend a post-secondary educational institution, attach a note indicating that you have requested or paid fees. If you're going to work, you have to have a note from your employer or show evidence of self-employment and must have at least 36 hours a week. Make arrangements for attending graduation on Sunday, May 15th, 2022. Have your cap and gown ordered and the fees taken care of with Mrs. Flood. See Mrs. Nagel to complete your yearbook requirements, and see Mrs. Budger to verify that you have no outstanding fees, fines, or college tuition. And meet with Mr. Harper and have him check over your transcript and approve that you have met all your requirements. Hi, I'm Heaton Sturm here with Angelia Euler, and she's an early graduate here at Clark County, and I'm going to ask her a couple questions. So, what made you want to graduate early?
I'm ready to get a jump start on college.
Yeah. And what do you plan on doing after graduation? Like you said, go to college, so where do you plan on attending?
I'm going to Lindenwood University to study criminal justice.
Where's that located?
St. Charles, St. Louis.
And would you recommend other students graduate early?
If you have enough credits, if it's just personal preference, if you're ready to move on, then yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you for interviewing. Have a good one.
Thank you, Heaton, for talking about early graduation. I'm Ian Ackley, and I'm going to talk about this year's boys varsity basketball. Their overall record so far is 2-8, but we're definitely going to turn that around toward the end. The upcoming event, our next varsity game, will be at Highland. It's the tournament. Zach McGrew is our only senior this year, and he was out at the start of the season for an injury, and now he's back, and we are always cheering him on when he scores. Now we're going to move it on over to Clint and Lucas with girls basketball.
The Clark County girls basketball team has had a rather up and down start to the year, but we are definitely behind them. I'm Lucas James.
And I'm Clint Shamley.
And we're going to get into what the Clark County varsity girls basketball team has been up to so far this year.
This varsity girls team has been led by seniors Allie Hayden, Emma Ross, Alexis Ellison, and Delana Hess.
And the senior stat girls have been Demara Daniels and Jillian Crane. They've been taking care of a lot of the statistical work for the team, and good job to all the seniors, and we wish luck to you guys for the rest of the year.
So, young James, what's next?
Well, I believe that Mr. Logan Malone is going to talk about the pep band.
Started our pep band season. We play at every varsity basketball game, and make sure to come out to one of our varsity basketball games and hear us play. That good enough?
Oh, it's working. I think that'll work.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Cameron, and today I'll be showing you how to clean out your locker for the holidays.
And here we are at the locker. The first items we have today are stinky gym clothes, trash, and a Chromebook. You want to take this baby home and take care of her. Next, we have trash, and some clothes. So be sure to bring home your sweaty, gross gym clothes and your mask. And make sure you don't keep any food in your locker, because if you so thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Campbell, and we are going to be making meringue cookies. So our recipe starts with 3 room temperature egg whites. Now just getting the egg white alone and not the yolk can be rather difficult, so if you're not too confident in your ability to not pop the yolk,
like me,
yep, it is best to just put the egg yolk into a smaller container before dumping the egg whites in, so you don't risk ruining the egg whites that are already poured. Or you can just be confident in your abilities and full send it.
So then when you add the eggs, what do you do next after the whites?
After you add your egg whites, you're going to start mixing them, and you're going to add 1/4 teaspoon, not tablespoon, but teaspoon of your, you're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract, and 1/4 teaspoon cream of tartar. You're just going to let these whisk and let it froth and bubble up a little bit. And Jacob, you are going to start gradually adding 1/4 cup of sugar. Now make sure to do this gradually. What you'll want to do to make sure the meringue gets fluffy enough.
Go ahead.
You go ahead and pour that gradually. You're going to want to make sure there's a steady but thin stream of sugar going into the egg whites. Now it says when it's whisking it, the batter type stuff is just getting bigger with the air bubbles that are adding in, and the sugar is just thickening it and getting more of a flavor. Are you good there, Jacob?
About, kind of.
About, kind of, okay. That's just fine. About halfway through, you're going to want to turn up the speed on your mixer a little bit. Right now we have it at a medium-high setting, but when we originally started whisking, we were about medium-low or medium. You just want to make sure you just keep on incorporating that sugar and that air into your batter. You really want this to have a nice, smooth texture when you're done. Now, one way to test if this is thick enough is to watch for the soft plop and the stiff plop stage. And that really doesn't make too much sense. But once you're done adding in your sugar, what you're going to want to do to test it, you pull this up, move it. See, right now it's just running off the whisk. So we're going to want to whisk this for a little bit longer, get some more air in there, and get this batter stiffened up so it can be piped on correctly. Now we're going to go ahead and turn this up to a higher speed so it can really get that air in there. So we have our batter at the stiff plop stage, so when we take our whisk up, the peak just only folds a little bit. It doesn't fully collapse, but it doesn't stay straight up. Now this is when you would add in your food coloring. You don't just be festive, and since we're doing mint meringue cookies, we're going to add in a little bit of green. So Jacob, if you can go ahead and put some dots of green food coloring in there. Right now would also be a good time to preheat your oven to 215 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you're probably going to want to do the bottom oven rack, a little bit more food coloring.
All right.
The bottom oven rack, because when you pipe these, it's about the size of a $50 coin. So it doesn't take up too much room, and you generally want to use 2 separate pans on the bottom rack for this. So you really want to make sure you have plenty of space, because you never really know how much room these take. Now we're once again having this whisk at a medium-high speed so it can get the color fully incorporated, and just make sure this gets to a stiff peak stage where the batter will not fold over on itself. Okay, we've been whisking this at a medium-high setting, and we are good to go. So I get these in a piping bag, onto a tray, and into the oven. And when you put them in for about an hour to an hour and a half, then let them cool completely in the oven, the finished product will look a little something like this. And there you have it, folks. Those are your mint meringue cookies, right in time for the holidays. Now let's just go right over to Colin Hunziker interviewing Mrs. Ross for the FCA.
I'm Colin Hunziker, and I'm here with the one and only Boss Ross, head of FCA and the radio and television teacher. Mr. Ross, I got a couple questions for you about FCA. So starting off, what is FCA?
So FCA stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and it's literally just a group that gets together bi-monthly, and we just have fellowship together, meaning just we get together and encourage one another and have fun, and we do a lot of serving and leadership opportunities.
So you're the head of FCA. What led you to becoming that?
I grew up in the FCA, and I always had fun. I always loved it, and then I went on to college, and I was also in the FCA in my college, and so I've always just been around it. I've learned just all about the program and what it entails and what it can do. And so anyway, I was asked by the old FCA leader who moved away to be the new FCA leader for this year, and I was very humbled by that opportunity.
So you said that you were introduced to it at a young age. What age were you introduced to it?
I was a freshman in high school.
Okay, that makes sense.
9th grade. 14, 15?
So is that when we started here?
Yes.
So what's your favorite part about being head of FCA?
My favorite part is just getting to be with the kids in not a school classroom setting, just having a more personable relationship with them, and just learning who they are as people and not just students.
All right, perfect. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Ho, ho, ho. It's your jolly old pal Seth McSanta here to read you your letters. Lovely elf. Thank you. Dear Seth McSanta, what is your sleep paralysis demon? Love, Dad. Well, if you must know, my secret sleep paralysis demon is either Barney the Dinosaur or the Teletubbies, but I do have a reoccurring nightmare, which is this video right here. Yeah. Dear Seth McSanta, I really, really want free jumping jack lessons and more pants. Love, Bob. Well, Bob, lucky for you, a little elf told me that there's a scavenger hunt going on, and he also told me that the prize is a segment with Seth McSpeedy himself. So, you better be looking for those clues, you hear me? Next letter. Dear Seth McSanta, you know, you're not the first one to ask me for this. Yes, I do like jazz. And this is the final one, my little elf. Oh, you have another one. How do you go to every house in one night? Signed, Lucas. I don't really know. All I know is I strap in, say on dancer, and all of a sudden I'm in someone's house. I do not know how that happens. What happened to the real Santa? There's a real Santa? There's a real Santa? Hope you enjoyed your little segment with your good old pal Seth McSanta. I'm going to go eat some milk and cookies, and you have yourself a holly jolly Christmas.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the December Newscast.
And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone, except to those who wear turtlenecks. We're looking at you, Boss Ross. We're looking at you.
And before you guys leave, don't forget to check out our new music video made by Tristan and Lucas called Indians Baby in the description below.
And with that being said, we'll see you next year.
Oh my.
Aw.